Make the ground shake.
What's up, guys? TechFan95 here again with you, giving you an Aphrodite build guide. It'll be for Conquest, Solo Lane, Arena, Joust. I'll be replacing items, different scenarios, and whatnot. This was suggested by forgetthewin. He's one of my closest friends, known him for 9 years. Keep your eye out on the Facebook and Twitter pages. He's going to be over tonight. We're going to do some live streaming. Later tonight, we're going to make a couple more videos with him here. So it'll be pretty funny. You might want to watch it, have a few laughs. Anyways, if you're not familiar with Aphrodite, let's go ahead and jump right into her abilities. Her passive, she gaining Aphrodite's favor is a blessing in that 30% of all mana regeneration by Aphrodite is granted to her soulmate. Her passive goes in with her one ability where she links with a friendly god, and 30% of all mana regeneration is also given to whatever god she is linked with, or her soulmate, because she loves you. Anyway, her first ability is Kiss. It's a projectile. It's the tether effect on an ally. Or, okay, let me just read it to you. Aphrodite blows a kiss to an allied god, making them her soulmate and giving them both increased movement speed. If it hits an ally, it has a reduced 3-second cooldown. If the kiss hits an enemy god, they are stunned, and Aphrodite's soulmate gets jealous, increasing their damage. The movement speed buff ranges from 4% at first level to 20% at max. The stun duration across all boards is 1%, or, sorry, 1 second. The jealousy duration across all boards is 5 seconds, and the damage increase ranges from 4% to 20%. So not only does the kiss on an allied god increases the mana regeneration by 30%, or 30% of all mana regeneration is given to them, they also get a movement speed buff, and if it's on an allied god, the god that you're tethered with, why does it do this? I'm right here. The ally you're tethered with gets a 20% damage increase, and the enemy god is stunned for 1 second. Her second ability, Back Off, it's a point blank area. Radius is 20. Agitated by all the attention, Aphrodite commands enemies to get away from her, doing damage and her and around her and knocking them back to 25 units from her. If Aphrodite has a soulmate, an explosion originates on them as well, dealing the same damage and slowing by 25% for 2 seconds. If an enemy would be hit by both blasts, then they will only be affected by the one originating from Aphrodite. Okay, so pretty much what that means is if you're linked with your allied god and you're both like really close to each other and you hit your 2 ability, the only damage it would take is the one coming from Aphro, not both of them, because that would be that's just too much. The damage from this goes from 80 to 320, and the slow is 25%. So if you're linked to your allied god, let's say you're linked to your guardian goes in, the other team starts hitting up on the guardian, you hit your 2 ability, knocks him back and slows them, allowing your guardian to either get out or just gives him a little bit of breathing room. Your 3 ability is Lovebirds. It's in a straight line, and it affects enemies and allies. The calls forth a flock of beautiful doves that fly toward in the area in front of her. The doves circle around all enemies in the path, damaging enemies every 0.5 seconds for 3 seconds. Aphrodite and her soulmate also receive healing when cast. The damage on this is insane. 0.5 seconds for 3 seconds, and the damage per 0.5 seconds is 15 up to 55, and the heal is at 10 from 10 to 38. So it's really good. This is really good for Aphro to be. She thrives in solo lane in Conquest because the heal gives her plenty of sustain, and the damage clears lane fast, insanely fast. And this is really good to use. I love playing Joust with Aphrodite or Arena because if somebody picks a Hercules, you're both like pretty much unkillable. So fun, but so troll. Her ultimate is Undying Love. She pledges undying love to herself and her soulmate. While this is while this is active, her and her soulmate are invulnerable to all damage for a short duration. All crowd control effects are also removed when activated. The invulnerability lasts from zero point 0.8 seconds up to 2 seconds, and like it says, if you're tethered with your one on an allied god when you use this, it does affect them as well. So this is really good during hard crowd controls, like especially early game, even late game. It's just good all across the board. It, in team fights, it's really great because if there's a lot of CC on the other team, you both already popped your beads or haven't yet, and this ulti is pretty much just another form of beads. Alrighty, let's go ahead and pop up into the items. I haven't played Aphrodite in a really long time, but this is the build that I've always used. Solo lane, you're going to start out with Vampiric Shroud,
Totally make us win.
Tier 1 boots. I like to get meditation. You don't have to, but that's what I like to get. And then one of each potion. That's my starter build for solo lane. After you do your first go back, you're going to finish your Shoes of Focus for the mainly just for the cooldown reduction. It's got a good amount of mana and some good physical power, or sorry, magical power as well. So you're going to finish your boots.
Right
After that, depending on who you're going against, if you're going against a melee, you're going to want to start picking up Breastplate of Valor. Just so you get max cooldown and some physical protections. If you're going against a magic, oh, sorry. This is entirely up to you. I would recommend getting Stone of Gaia, because with the extra regeneration and your 3 ability, it'll help you stay in lane a lot longer. Or you can go the more damage route, Void Stone. Gives you 50 magical protections, 40 magical power, and reduces the protections of enemies within 55 units by 15. You can go that as well, but I would just much rather get Stone of Gaia, because the passive on Stone of Gaia goes really well with your 3, like I said. So let's just for build's sake, let's say Breastplate of Valor. After you finish Breastplate of Valor, get Spear of the Magus. They recently changed this. It used to stack up to 3 times, but now it's a max of 2 stacks. If you aren't a big fan of Spear of Magus, then just go ahead and get Obsidian Shard, but I prefer Spear because of the stacking penetrations.
This will totally make us win.
After Spear of Magus, it's entirely your choice from here on between Rod of Asclepius or Lotus Crown. I like both of these. I mean, it just adds to her kit a lot more, especially in team fights, because the Lotus Crown gives you 60 magical power, 30 physical protections, and 20 MP5. And the passive gives, whenever you heal, any god affected by your ability and yourself gains 20 physical protections and 20 magical protections for 5 seconds, but it cannot activate in the same target again for 10 seconds. So it's just something to add on to your 3 ability where it'll make you a little more tanky along with your soulmate. But in solo lane, you don't really need to worry about this that much because you don't have a soulmate to link to. So I would just recommend going either with Rod of Asclepius right after your spear, or if you want, what I used to do is I used to stack Book of Thoth, especially in solo lane, because this will increase your magical power by a lot, and in turn, increasing your healing by a lot. So let's, just for the purposes of this video, let's go ahead and go Book of Thoth.
Right now.
So we'll go Book of Thoth, and then your Rod of Asclepius. Rod of Asclepius, if you're not familiar, gives you an extra 10% movement speed, 200 mana, and 75 magical power, and increases your health. Regeneration of allies within 70 units is increased by 15%. So your healing is increased by 15%. And for your last item, you're going to sell Vampiric Shroud and get you Rod of Tahuti. So with this build that I do, it ends up giving you max cooldown reduction, A little bit of protections, physical protections. Without the stacking on Book of Thoth, you're looking at a 529 magical power, which is quite a bit without the stacks. And actives, you can either get, go ahead and finish one of these. If you don't want to get meditation, and I don't blame you because it's really not that great, uh, you can always start out with getting beads or an Aegis. I'd say Aegis because if you're by yourself in solo lane, there's no reason to pop your ulti. I would much rather have that be saved for team fights with the way that I play. Because Aphro doesn't really have any escapes. Other than her ulti and her one ability, if you land the one ability, you're okay. If you miss it, uh, yeah. It was nice knowing you. So if you get Aegis Pendant, that allows you to move and be invulnerable. Cooldown's 120 seconds. You can never go wrong with beads, if you want to start with beads. Or if you want to have a stronger team fight presence, get Enfeebling Curse. I love Enfeebling Curse, especially during team fights when people think they're getting away, but haha, no you're not. Either Enfeebling Curse or Heavenly Agility. Heavenly Agility does increase your healing done by 25%, so that could help you out a lot more in team fights too. Since I don't play Aphro that much, just actives are situational like usual, but those are mine that I would prefer getting is either meditation in the beginning, beads, Aegis, or one of these two here would be what I would go for. And like I said earlier, if you don't want to get Book of Thoth, which I do recommend getting, I guess you can go ahead and grab your Lotus Crown for the extra uh, added protections when you use your 3. But I do really recommend getting Book of Thoth.
Totally make us win.
This build is the one that I use in solo lane. It could also be used in Joust and Arena. So, yeah, that's my quick little build of Aphrodite. If you have any changes you would make, go ahead and comment them below. I'll take a look. It's been months since I played Aphro, and I didn't look up to see what's in the meta right now for her. So, anyways, I'm hoping you like it. Stay tuned for those videos tonight, the live stream tonight. The links will be below for the Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch accounts. And if you're wanting to go ahead and join the clan, hit us up. We are looking for active members. Anyways, hope you like the video. Comment with anything you like. Any build videos you want to see, comment them down and I will get them done as soon as possible. Thank you for watching and have a good day. Kablooey.